Adenike Akinsemolu, welcome to SaharaTV.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I came to attend the Cleansing Global Initiative, and I'm also going to be speaking at the City University of New York about the role of higher education institution in green initiatives. The goal of the Green Initiative is to make sure that students are environmentally conscious and they're social leaders. So the idea of going green, if we go around our environment, especially in rural parts of Nigeria, you see that people just throw their waste everywhere and they don't have a sense of guilt. They don't feel a sense of guilt when they throw their waste. So we're trying to say that, this waste can in fact cause a lot of bad things or environmental degradation. But also, most of the students will tell you that, okay, what do I stand to gain? What's my business with climate change? So we're trying to make sure that they understand. We're trying to make them see it like it's a win-win situation. For instance, if you take care of your environment, if you take out your waste, you're cleaning your environment and you probably have good health altogether. If you're riding bicycle, for instance, you're reducing the amount of carbon emissions, but you're saving money and you're keeping fit. But what we're trying to do now is to introduce something we call trash for education, where students can get incentives for picking out trash in the environment. So whatever trash you have, just bring it to us. You get education in return. Education can be full education. It can be getting educational materials like books, stationaries, etc. So it's just letting people see value in something that they would call trash. Yes, and yes in the sense that we're looking at like little small steps. By the time I take out my waste, I take care of my waste, it's properly recycled, you do the same, everybody's doing the same, then it becomes a cumulative effect. It creates a ripple effect. So if all of us are doing it, then of course it will make a lot of difference. People might say that, oh, if I'm the only one doing it, it doesn't, but we can't keep doing that. We have to collectively do it. So it's not just about waste now. For instance, switching of your appliances is part of going green. So most people, before they leave their apartment, they just switch on the light and they leave. So we're saying that if I switch off my appliance, you switch it off, everybody's doing that in Lagos, in Abuja, in different parts of the country, then we're reducing the amount of emissions. So yes, every individual can contribute to reducing or the adverse effects of climate change. Well, there are a lot of conversations that are going on about the SDGs, and which climate change is like number 13 of the SDGs. Yes, we need to, I believe in practical solutions. I think the only good thing about the UN meetings is for people to just network, not necessarily the conversations, because there are thousands of conversations that are going on and people just end up talking and they leave. But we can network with people. For instance, we're trying to do the trash for education. We need to create curriculums, we need to form partnerships. So by the time you go to a UN meeting, you meet different kind of organizations that are doing the same thing that you're doing, and by exchanging contacts, you can collaborate and make sure that's better, and your idea can come to life more. But in terms of conversations, yeah, it's good that we're having it, but I don't think it's practical. I think that new media is such a blessing, because what we're doing is harnessing the power of new media, and especially social media. Even though we're based out of Ondo, even our Facebook and Twitter, we've been able to reach out a lot of people. The goal was actually just to green one campus at a time, by green Nigeria, one campus at a time. But surprisingly, we have something we call the Green Ambassadors, which is a program where different university students sign up to be our ambassadors and spread the message in their various universities. And just by doing the Sahara reporter interview that I did in Ondo State, and some couple of more exposure has actually let people know about what we're doing. And now we're getting applications from places like Somalia, Rwanda, South Africa, and different parts of the world. So I think that the best way to advocate for climate is to also use or utilize the social media to reach out to more people. And I feel that so far it's been good, and we're reaching people. Well, I think everybody always talk about the government doing something, the government should do this, the government should do that. I think that's getting old, and we've been saying it forever, and nothing has changed. So I feel like we as citizens need to take control of no matter whatever sector you find yourself, no matter how small. We're just talking about me being in Ondo Town, and now with the Green Campus Initiative, we'll be able to reach about 30 universities across the country, and even outside of the country, we'll be able to reach people. So we don't have to wait for the government for change in quote to happen. We have to be leaders in wherever we find ourselves, no matter, and just be the change we want to see. So we are complaining about, if you don't like something about Nigeria, change it. What I don't like was, I asked my students, what does it mean to go green? They have no idea. They don't even know anything about climate change. That's the problem. And the way I'm solving it is just by educating them and by making them see that, this climate change, although it has a lot of scientific jargons and is very scientifically inclined, but making them see that you can gain something even by going green. And one thing that we try to do, we talk about youth unemployment, for instance. We try to encourage students to be social entrepreneurs. In that way, they have to put together the 3 Ps, which is the people, the profit, and the people, the planet, and the profit. So we're telling students that, see, don't just do business just for doing sake. How does it affect people positively in your environment? How do you make profit from it? Or how does it affect your planet? How does it affect your planet, and how do you make profit from it? For example, I'll give you an example. We have a student now that is running a business called Send Me. And what that does is they use bicycle, and with some kind of app, you just if you need to run any errands, you go on an app, and then you make your request, and within some few minutes, a student will come to you with a bicycle, and you can send them anywhere you want to go. What he's doing is, of course, is putting his environment into consideration. The people around him into consideration, and also by using bicycle, is reducing the amount of emissions. And interestingly, now he's even employing more students because now there's a lot of demand for the service. So we're saying that we need to start looking inward and not outward to make that change in Nigeria. No, I'm not. I feel that environmental education should be a course that every freshman or every first-year student should take. And environment cuts across every field, law, because now if you're talking about people that are in law, you have to start talking about policies. For instance, people that are living in the Niger Delta area after the oil spills and everything, what is government doing about it? What are their rights as humans that are living in that environment? So it cuts across every field, and that is why we need to include it in the curriculum, at least first-year students. It's hard to convince universities because they have this one way, this is how we have been doing it 50 years ago, and this is how it should continue. So it is very hard, but of course we will try to see if we can push that to probably the Ministry of Education and Environment to see if they can start putting in the curriculum. And if they're not doing that, well, the goal of the Green Campus Initiative is to eventually have a green university. A green university where students can come and get practical education. Because Nigerian education is very, very theoretical. Most of even the climate change stuff that we're talking about, by the time they read it, they are not going to do anything with it at the end of the day. It's very theoretical. So we have to start letting people know that, okay, how can you live your life in such a way that you're not harming yourself, the people around you, and your environment? So once those 3 variables are put into place, then that's real education. So yeah, I'm not satisfied, and I hope that with the little my organization is doing, we can make a difference.